Hey, howdy ho, Lions, and welcome to the Detroit Lions podcast, episode 557. This is the official Detroit Lions podcast for Reddit. We're doing it live after another Lions victory, like we like to do. We got you covered. It's me, your dashing host, Chris, and with me is my good friend and equally dashing co-host, Ash, the Mr. Tweetson Thompson. How you doing, brother?
Awesome. I am doing awesome.
Okay, we got a good one. This is one. People were nervous early. I don't know. I felt good. Yep. I didn't worry. We'll talk about Bates.
We were doing a post-game show. Everything's going to be fine.
They did Bates dirty. He was just showing
San
Francisco the sweet love they can expect later. That's all. Don't worry about it, folks. It's no biggie. We're going to talk about today's game. We're going to cover Coach Campbell's post-game presser. We're going to see what we can do about getting Kyle Shanahan, see what he says about Purdy and what happened on their side. Probably get Jared Goff's presser as well. A little bit of round table talking, take your calls, a whole lot more. We got a great show lined up. Mr. Thompson, are you ready to go, my friend?
Let's get it on.
Good, because I didn't fix this thing. It's not going to work again. Damn it. All right, let's get right into it. All right, let's get into it. All right, this is it. The Lions and the Niners post-game show. I got to tell you, this was crazy. This was crazy. This was a win in a meaningless game in December. We got no injuries. We got a comeback victory. We've got all the right things going for this team heading into what is the final dragon to slay of the regular season and to get the Lions the number one speed for the first time in franchise history. All right. Is that everything? Is that it, Ash? Does that cover it?
I think so. Yeah. Like this is so many. Like every dragon just keeps getting slayed. You know what I mean? Like the NFC Championship revenge game. You know, that's it. It's absolutely a beautiful thing to be a Lions fan right now. We are in the best possible timeline as far as that goes.
Remember the road game loss record that we had for ages and ages and ages?
Yep.
Just for folks so they know,
we haven't 3.5 seasons.
We haven't lost on the road this year. You talk about slaying dragons. We haven't lost a single game on the road. Camping out, clan, harder than a diamond in an ice storm right now. I'm with you. Let's face it. That's what Bates was working out.
Yep.
He had that hog just hanging. There's
oh boy.
This is good. Aaron Glenn, and I see it, Ryan Smukula. The defense gives me a GD heart attack like last year. We almost went to the Super Bowl. I think our offense is better, so who knows? Maybe we can win the freaking Super Bowl. Yeah, I talked about Aaron Glenn being Fred Sanford material out there when he was just sitting on the bench on the sideline. He's just like holding that heart right now. Like, I'm coming to see Elizabeth. That was crazy. But you got Kirby out there pulling down the balls. We've got a baby mama somewhere that's been busy tonight.
Oh yeah, that was a beautiful thing. Just having that pick stolen and then boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll do it again.
Is this what we needed?
Yep. Nice touch too with the as Troy Aikman said, with the Merton Hanks dance. I kind of want to go back now and see, like, has he been doing that? Has he been doing the like iconic dances of other franchises players? And if he hasn't been doing it before now, I would really like him to keep doing it.
Yeah, from now on.
Yep.
Oh man, where's Dr. Liao? Had a mini stroke. Yeah. Defense sucks though. Hey, the defense had a tough game out there for sure. Don't worry, folks. Based on the celebration yesterday was the Vikings Super Bowl. Yeah, that was a little bit over the top for a 14th win.
Apparently, that was all water. Like, it was water bottles that they were doing that with. Like, it's everything about that is so weird.
Yeah, it was very strange, very, very strange. Oh man, the only thing better than Hutchinson winning defensive player of the year is Hutchinson winning Super Bowl MVP. I could go with that.
Yep.
Anzalone back,
that.
would be helpful, although I can't fault Jack Campbell. He's been playing well out there. He's been doing the job admirably with the green dot.
At this point, you'd be away from.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. Watching Anzalone work on the sideline, though, he's already. I mean, you can tell he's ready to be a coach. I think that's definitely his next step. He is. He is 100%. A coach coming up already. So we'll see how that goes. Like Teddy,
if you see that AG goes and say Shep gets moved up, and then like Anzalone can't do the linebacker coach job. You know what I mean? Like that. I can't see that being a problem. Or the new linebacker coach's assistant for a year or two, and then take that job. You know?
Yeah. Good thing is our crowd will help with the noise. I'll tell you what. You didn't hear it, but my brother sent me. He was in Levi Stadium tonight. He sent me a recording, and there was a Jared Goff chant just resounding through Levi Stadium. It was loud, so it was a big one. Aaron Pfeiffer, member, 5 months. Thank you for being in the winner's circle. Tweeted you a nice Master Bates picture, Chris, all over the 49ers. I will check that out after the show, 100%. Thank you, though, Aaron, for being a member of the winner's circle on the YouTube channel. That's very kind of you. If you don't want to be a member, you can also join via the old Slack chat. You get there at patreon.com/Detroit Lions podcast, $5 a month. There you go. I had to remember all that. Dobbs TD cost me $2,000 on my parlay. DLR Van Halen. I am sorry, bro. I won all my bets except the Za'Darius Smith sack bet tonight. I'm okay. Man, our defensive line outlasted. Our defensive line outlasted. You're right, Brandon. I'll tell you what. I think the offensive line just this again. This is some of the things where we talk about with that bully ball, the patience that Lions fans need to have as the game wears on, the other team wears down. And I think you saw that with what our offensive line and that run game did. It just continued to beat their defense up. And before the last 2 touchdowns, you saw the frustration on the Niners as they would jump and throw that tantrum after the ball hit the end zone and scored the touchdown. The anger and the frustration, that was the point where you can tell, now it's starting to work. Now we're just starting to murder them and take away all hope. And that seems to be when our defense comes alive. Our defense is the one that seems to be wearing down their offense very much the same way. Not as good in the beginning, but by the end of the game, they tightened it up and hitting those balls.
They just have to do enough, you know?
Yeah. This is truly one of those games where the defense, it was an offense wins the game type of thing. Yeah, could definitely hear the Jared Goff chants on TV once we came back. There we go. Problem with today's players becoming coaches is time and money. They know how much time it takes, and most have saved well. Absolutely, but there's a passion for the ones that want to coach. There's a passion from the ones that want to coach, and that's a big part of it, because what it takes from a coach is hours upon hours of time in the building. People, I don't think, understand how much time these coordinators and their staff actually spend, how many nights a week they sleep in the building to get this work done and to build what they have. At least in Detroit. I'm not sure that's what's happening in San Fran. I don't know how it works in Minnesota, but Detroit, I know these guys are putting in hours and missing tons of time with their families to do this. So,
yep, not a 40-hour-a-week gig. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, let's talk about it. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you, Frosty Cakes. You're getting a little bougie here, aren't you? Hogan Hatton. He was noticeable this game, which is a shame, but Clutch Reynolds came in big today. Hopefully he's done enough for BJ to split carries a bit more, so Gibbs isn't so beat up. Yeah, Reynolds did great today. Hogan Hatton got blasted onto his rear. I don't know that. Was that a legal play, Ash? Was that? I honestly don't know the rule on that.
I did not. I'm not sure. Like I do not know. That's your evidence, folks. That I don't just pull things out of my butt and make stuff up. Like I legitimately on this one.
All right.
I don't know, man.
Lions are 2.5-point favorite against Minnesota. That's a little tough because you should be getting 3 points at home. You should always have 3 points at home. So that tells you that they, even though we're faves, Lauren Bell, Kirby game ball. That's gonna be a hell of a game next week. And both teams, I hate to say it, as much as I hate Minnesota, neither team deserves to be a 5th seed after that game. No matter what happens.
That's my biggest surprise of this season is how good the Minnesota Vikings have been. Honestly, like it just, I thought Sam Darnold was going to be the limiting factor that kept them as like a 5-6 win team. You know what I mean? When JJ went down, not that I thought they were going to be spectacular with JJ either, because rookie quarterback, that's always an issue. You know what I mean? But he's been phenomenal this year. Like they've kind of gotten the same thing we got a few years ago when Jared Goff came in and surprised everybody with how well he played for us.
Yeah,
they got to make a decision in 1 year. You know, like this offseason is going to be tough for them.
Whether he's at Minnesota or somewhere else, he's made himself a lot of money. Yeah. Good for him. Hopefully Absolutely. Better for us. I mean, we got one
bag
win.
Someone gets that is not, every bag somebody gets with some other team is one more player that team has to give up, and maybe we can pick up in free agency.
That's right. And I'll tell you, our team, our coaches, our building feels confident that they understand how the Vikings work. They feel very, very confident that they know how to beat this team. I'm never that confident, but they are, and that makes me happy. That makes me happy. And I heard this before the first game that they played against them. So, Steve Mosier, thank you, sir, for the super chat. Post-game show pulls out another win. We are batting 1,000, Ash, with post-game shows.
Yep. 100%.
We should do these all the time.
100% of the time, it works every time. Yeah, we really should.
We really should just do these all the time. You know where I'm the most worried? Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Senior Bowl week. It's not a bye week. We'll figure it out. Brandon, have not seen someone that poised and cool under pressure, but together and on point as Goff has been since Montana. Very, very true. Jared Goff continues, and so there's 2 plays in particular. There was one where he threw it at the feet of Gibbs, 3 feet in front of him, just threw it in the dirt. He had his guy there. He was getting rid of the ball. No sack. Smart play. Thought it was calm, cool, collected. Lived to see another day. End of story. That was that. Very well done. The other one was where what's his face blasted his own player. He hit Bosa in the head. If Goff had not ducked, he probably would have gone out on a stretcher. He got out of the way of that, and boy, oh boy, those guys hurt each other. Good. And was it
thousands of times did we watch that during Louis Delmas's career?
Yeah.
You know,
there was so many helmet shots today.
Everybody.
Yeah, and with the helmet, right? And in the helmet.
Yep.
I mean, that's what we saw today. Boy, those Niners were leading with the dome quite a bit out there, and that's crazy. There was a couple that I saw that should have been thrown. But I mean, talk about dirty. You got Kirby pulling down 2. What a dirty bastard Kirby is. Dirty.
He's still leading
Kirby.
the league, isn't he?
Yeah, leading the league. He's got 9. Beautiful 9.
That's crazy. Like, that's legitimate shot at double-digit interceptions on the season. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
How can you not be Defensive Player of the Year when you do that? That never happens. You know, Well, not never, but it's pretty rare. Like,
Did you see
like in 20 sacks?
Did you see the arms on Brad Holmes when they cut to him up in the booth? I'm telling you, Campbell is working him. Well, no, he wasn't that big before. Campbell's bulking my guy. He's coaching up. He's coaching Holmes up, and I don't know if Holmes he thinks he's got to like work a little harder to be able to kick, hold his own against Campbell or what. I don't know, but that was he's bulking. He's bulking, and he's going to be. You gotta lift. You got to be able to pump that Lombardi. You know what I mean? You got to be able to pump that thing up. So I think he's getting ready for it, right?
You think he's prepping for the one-hander?
Yeah.
Is there a single other GM in the league who can do this? I don't think there is.
Oh man. Still watching for the post-game, what do they call press conferences? That's what they do. Frosty Cakes. Yes. I got to tell you first off. Okay, we got Kyle Shanahan out there. We'll get him on in a second. Frosty Cakes. Fun stat. Lions haven't won in San Fran since 1975.
False. They won tonight.
They won tonight. What's that? That's 45 years? Or no, 40 years? 39 years?
Oh, God. No, that's 75?
Yeah, 85, 95, 2005, 15.
That's I guess that's a 40. That is a 49.
Is it 40?
It's a 49-year streak.
It's 50. Somebody do math.
Well, it's not 2025 yet.
Oh, well, I mean, we're moments away.
So, right? Yeah, but we're not there. So they're the 49ers. It's a 49-year streak,
Okay. All right, let's go Kyle Shanahan first for the presser. He's up and running. Let's just see what he has to say. It's going to take me 1 second to get this ready. What do you think we're going to hear from Shanahan out there, Ash?
A whole bunch of words that essentially mean nothing.
Those are the best kind. That's what we want to hear. All right, let's get into it here.
It's showing your opponent to be doing after a game.
We'll probably check on it tomorrow, but not exactly sure.
Is status for next week up in the air?
Yeah.
How do you feel that you guys played today against it?
Dumb question.
Do you guys consider this a game playing for pride, or how do you guys approach it? How do you feel like you guys played?
Try to approach it the same way we approach every game. Try our hardest to win and try to play our best. I thought the guys played real hard. I thought they competed. Had every chance to beat a real good football team there. Obviously,
it's like a hockey interview.
Was perfect. I thought, we weren't able to slow them down enough on defense. It's a real good offense, but still thought we should have slowed them down a little bit more. Thought the difference in the game, though, was, obviously the type of game it was. They've been in a number of those games this year, but we had to win it in a shootout, and I thought the difference was our two turnovers and getting none. Once that happened, that's why you end up losing by one score.
Your song seemed to be the hot hand that you like to deal tonight, and I would say that it was one of his strongest performances against one of the best teams in the NFL. What did you see out of him, and why do you think he was able to kind of come alive tonight versus other games earlier this season? He had better stats tonight, so that's how it looks for receivers. But when the ball came his way, he did a good job, made some good catches, had some big plays, and it doesn't always work that way for wideouts. But when it came his way, he did a real good job, beat man coverage well, and caught the ball real well too.
How do you evaluate the night that Purdy had?
It seemed like he had a real good night. Except for those two picks, they were two tough ones, but. It seemed like he was playing at a pretty high level.
What did you see on those two picks?
Just the ball sailed on him. I sailed on the first one, the one versus man coverage, and I think he thought the free safety was playing deeper than he was, and free safety just read his eyes and teed off on it. It looked like cover 3, but I think it was a Tampa 2 player.
You backed up Moody pretty solidly the last few days. Do you see this? Do you have to start really evaluating that position?
We already are. We're evaluating all positions. I was just, early in the week, I was saying some of the things that he's gone through this year, which, are facts, just him coming back from that injury and everything. And today wasn't a great day by no means. He missing that 51-yard field goal.
the 58-yard field goal, that's, just a gotta-have-it situation. And, I'm not going to be too hard on him for that far of a kick, but I know he's capable of making that, and it looked like he got the distance. I think he just missed it, but obviously that extra point, I don't know how the snap and the hold were. We'll look at that when we see the tape, but got to make that extra point.
At this point, how much of it seems like a mental or confidence thing?
I don't know. I don't know about people's mental.
Obviously, a lot of new names in that offensive line. How do you think that position group played today?
I thought they did a good job. I mean, just, both of our left tackles come in just being on someone else's practice squad last week and being able to come in here and play in this game. I think that's the first time I've ever started a guy who was on someone else's practice squad last week at this time. So they did a real good job of just learning the terminology and stuff. I don't think they made too many mistakes. And I just appreciate them battling and putting themselves out there. And, we scored a lot of points, so obviously they were part of that.
You put so much emphasis on taking the ball away with the special ball meetings and everything. And I think since the bye week, I think you have 2 takeaways. Is that
is that a stinger?
How do you account for that?
How do you feel about that?
Oh, it's extremely tough. It's tough to win when you don't get the ball like that. Didn't seem like we had many opportunities today, which you got to create your own opportunities. This past month, I think we have created a couple and haven't come down with it, but today I didn't see too many opportunities.
Now, just to clarify, Brian, what was your level of concern with that? Could that be something long-term?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, I'm just speculating right now. I know everyone, when they hear about Brock's elbow and stuff, just like me, you think of the elbow injury from a couple of years ago. But, just talking to doctors, he just got hit in the right spot. And when you get hit there, your nerves go and you can't feel much. But hopefully it'll be all right.
How do you feel about the culture of this team where you had guys flying around and playing, I thought, pretty fast today, even despite the fact this is week 17?
I'd be extremely disappointed if they didn't. I don't get how people.
Okay, that's good enough. I just wanted to see him cry.
Yeah.
That's really what we needed.
Yeah.
And he was conciliatory in all the right ways, so that works out. Let's go to Kitch Campbell. Coach Campbell is on the podium. We'll get him from the beginning. We won't miss it. Don't you worry. We won't miss a second of Coach because he is the man. Oh wait, we want to do this, but we want to do it right. So I have to make sure I do one other thing. Okay, Coach Campbell's coming up here. 1 second. I promise we'll have it. We won't miss a single second. I just make sure I want to have the right his name there because it's his name. There we go. There's a lot of production that goes into this stuff. You guys don't realize. All right, let's get Coach Campbell on the hizzy.
And we were able to finish that one out. And a number of guys played really good for us, played really, really well. And, I thought Goff had a big game. That offensive line, Gibbs, J-Mo, Saint, defensively, there was a number of guys. Certainly Kirby came up big with 2 picks that were big. And anyway, it was wanted to play complimentary football. We did that, and I was really proud of the guys.
Dan, we know your mentality. You spoke about it this week about playing the guys, not resting starters. Just talk about why that was so important for you to come out and have the guys play and get this victory with the starters and rotation as well.
Yeah, look, there's nothing easy about this, and there's a number of things you got to decide, and we don't get to prepare those other guys because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen for first, second down, third down, red zone leading into the week. And so, for example, like Hooker's not getting those reps. Those are Goff's reps because we don't know. And that's just one example. And so it's not fair. I just don't believe it's fair to put in a guy who's not prepared to play, especially a young player. And then you can only sit 6 guys. So who are all those 6? Well, all right, who are the 6? And then the other guys that don't, is it fair to them that we're not using everything we've got? We flew out here, we prepared this way, we came out to win, and that's ultimately what it came to. And, yeah, you cross your fingers, nobody gets hurt. I mean, it's tough. And we were fortunate, we got out. And now it's on to the next one.
Kirby, I think he had 7 picks in the first 10 games. Had been a little bit of a drought here, but just stepped up in a huge way. 2 big ones that you guys turned into 14 points. Just that whenever you guys have needed a kind of a play, it seems like he's been able to step up. Just how proud are you of him? 9 picks on the year now.
Yeah, really, really proud. I mean, it's what we talked about. It was when we needed it the most, man, he came up big. And, I mean, we've been talking about it. We knew we needed to get takeaways, and it was just another example of playing complementary football. And, man, he came up in a big way, And not just that, the picks, but, he had some critical tackles in this game and just really showed up for us. So that was big.
Kirby had those big picks, obviously, but you guys didn't force a punt. Just how do you feel overall about your defense and its readiness for the playoffs right now? Yeah,
I wanted to. For me, it's do you want to play a little bit better? Yeah, you do in areas, but we calmed some things down in the second half. AG and those guys did a good job, and we talked about disruption and takeaways, and we got those, and that's the world we got to live in, So I feel good. And because I know that the most important thing is that we do complement each other. And when we need it, offense has got to show up. And defense, if we're not able to score, they got to show up. And we did that. And then we still got special teams, that we hadn't even talked about yet. So we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
What you said about the not resting the starters, did you get even a little bit of a niche after the Vikings won and obviously playing the starters? How does that set you up for the Vikings this week on a short week? Does it give you any kind of benefit for momentum, anything like that?
Well, I'm probably like you guys that were all here, woke up at 2 or whatever this was this morning. And, it was on my mind. I thought a lot about it. I thought about it leading up to the game. I thought about it last night. I told the staff. But I ended up settling on the right thing to do was play these guys. And because we owed it to the team, and it was just one of those positions we were in. It's just hard to say who you're going to sit. And it's not fair to ask guys to play that haven't been prepared to play, So that was tough. And I think the biggest thing is there was things we wanted to do better than we did last week, and we did. We cleaned a lot of things up offensively. I thought defensively we talked about getting takeaways. We got takeaways, and so that'll always serve you well going into the next week. And look, there was never going to be anything. We knew what this is. You're out on the West Coast, you go, man, it's all good. That's what we do. You know what I mean? This is what we do. Like, we love it hard.
It's all good, man.
This is our deal right now. So we're looking forward to this. Everything about this week.
Speaking of what you do, undefeated on the road, Dan, it's so hard to win on the road in this league. To go undefeated, I mean, just how much of an accomplishment is that for you personally?
Well, it shows the type of guys we got. Shows the type of players we got. And, we're a resilient group. We just are. And we're built to handle things that not everybody can do. And, you go 8-0 on the road, that means you're a pretty damn good team. And you can handle adversity. And so, I'm proud of these guys. I'm proud of the coaches. It takes a village. It takes everybody. So we prepare that way, and we play that way.
Dan, we saw Panay head to the locker room a little bit earlier in the first half. Is he dealing with anything that is a long-term concern at all?
No, shouldn't be. Should be good.
Panay would take if he lost the leg, he would play.
Hey, Dan, you had 11 conversions today on 3rd or 4th down. Just how were you guys so good on money downs tonight?
We felt good about the plan going into the week. And ultimately it was going to come down to the execution. So we did feel like we had a really good plan, put our guys in position, and ultimately, man, Goff played lights out today, and he's been playing like this. And I feel like he took another step up, which is hard to believe, with where he's been playing because it is such 100%. A high level. So that, and then our playmakers showed up, man. They made plays for us. The O-line protected well. And usually that means you're going to have success.
Dan, I know we asked you earlier this week about just coming back here at this stage playing. Even for some of the media, we was just like, it was crazy to just experience that after last year.
Hard to believe it's been almost a year, huh?
How was it to actually come out and get this victory on this stage? I know it's not going to take away the pain from last year, but just to actually get that victory on the stage.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, there's so many things that, you want to get a taste out of your mouth that's been there for a while, and so it feels good to do that. It feels good to come out here and get that win. And I tell you what, everything about this was right. It just felt good. It was a great night for football, great environment. That's a good team with good coaches. And, man, they came out and they gave us what they had, man. They did. And we knew they would. So, we had to earn that win, and we did. And that got us to 14. So I'm really proud of the guys.
The Cowboys win. This win, does this complete the Dan Campbell revenge tour?
No, it's not.
It
was good to get this one. It was good to get this one.
Does it though? Is there something more behind it for you, for the players, as far as avenging these kind of tough losses in the past?
Well, I just think that was tough, and look, we didn't earn it last year, and they did, and so to be able to, even though it's not the same as last year, to be able to come out to the scene of the crime and get it done, it does give you some satisfaction.
Dan, you mentioned it. You didn't get any help, obviously, from Green Bay yesterday. But I guess what is the message about the opportunity, the challenge that this week brings?
This is what you're in it for, man. I mean, this is ultimately it. I mean, you couldn't write a better scenario. You couldn't come up with this. The fact that both teams are sitting at 14-2. And it's for the division and the 1 seed. It just doesn't get any better than this. Like, this is fairy tale stuff. And so, I mean, it speaks for itself. Our guys are excited. I told you the hardest thing was not to overlook what we were getting ready to do today. And now that it's here, we spend the next 6 hours on the plane. This is great, man. This is it's as good as it gets, and so we're looking forward to this, and it's early. We just finished the last game.
Coach, what does it mean for Jared? Coming back to the Bay Area, this is a team he hasn't beaten in almost 7 years. Get the win
really?
And play so well.
That.
Yeah, and
but
play
it feels
so well.
Good, I guarantee you.
Yeah. But what is it like for him? I'm sure he had a lot of friends and family here to have that kind of performance at home.
I know he had a lot of friends and family here, and so I know in that regard that meant something. There was a lot that meant something to him. Certainly what Carlos just brought up, the fact that to be able to get a win out here and what we didn't last year, and then the previous history you're talking about with the Rams, and then have the family, but this is a different Jared Goff now. He's different. And this guy is developed and matured, and he's just stepping into his prime, and he just continues to get better and better. And he's playing at an ultimate level right now. I mean,
and all you motherfuckers that said he's a throw-in
better than him in this league right now. I'd love to see it.
You can suck on
these nuts. Guy we don't get to ask about this time of year a lot, but Craig Reynolds really showed up today, both in the receiving game and the running game. Just how big of a boost is that as he kind of go out there without David in these final weeks?
It's huge, and once again, it's like that's Craig. That's what Craig does.
This place is so trash right now.
Craig doesn't get hardly any reps because they go to Gibbs. Or David, when we had David, he gets a couple here and there. And so he goes in from the mental work of preparing, and he's always on point. He knows exactly where to line up, alignment, assignment, effort, finish. And he shows up once again for us. And that's why we trust him. We trust the heck out of him. And normally he's been a big special teams contributor for us, always has silent production. And he steps in, and you're right, man. He was a huge... He was huge help for us offensively. Well, we'll see. I mean, he's doing well. I mean, he's close. He's really close. Okay. Thanks.
All right, there we go. Woo! Yeah, I really do have to ball drag on the people that said Jared Goff was a frickin' throw-in. I am so sorry, but you people are absolutely 110% wrong. And you need to remember how wrong you are, I think is the way it should be. Okay. I'm going to go right into Jared Goff right now. He's on the podium. We're going to get right back in and catch up to real close to real time. So let me get Mr. Goff going here.
And you've had plenty of stretches in your career where you played great ball. Dan said this is maybe the best that he's seen you play. Do you feel like you're playing at an elevated level from?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel like we're all playing at an elevated level right now on offense. I think the last handful of weeks, even the Buffalo game we lost, we were scoring a ton of points, and we've been playing well on offense for quite some time, and I feel like I'm just part of that.
You guys are 8-0 on the road this season. I know a lot of times when asked about these achievements, you say you'll look back on them one day, but now that the regular season road schedule is done, I guess how much pride do you take in being able to achieve that?
Yeah, a ton. I answered this on the field earlier, but like the us against everybody mentality, how tight this group is, how close we are, that comes out in full force on the road, and our culture, how prideful we are and what we want to do, and then also, our fans have shown up to road games and have made a difference, made it feel like semi-home games, and that's important.
Jared, there was a lot of questions entering the game. Would Dan play the starters? Would he rest them? Just speak of the mentality of, no, I'm playing, we're going to try to get this.
Yeah.
Just that mentality.
Yeah, he put that to bed pretty early on in the week, no matter what was going to happen, that we were going to go. And I'm sure that's tough for him, but I think that's the only way we know. It's just go and find a way to win. And the team we were playing, in San Francisco, like this is what ended our season last year, and there was a lot of guys on this team that were there last year that wanted to get one back on them, even though in a lot of ways it was meaningless for them and meaningless for us. But they were prideful out there too. They were trying to beat us as well, and it was a fun game.
Jared, how many friends and family did you have here today?
A lot. I have no idea how many, but a lot.
What was it like to have that kind of performance? I mean, the fans are chanting your name against a team you grew up rooting for.
Yeah, pretty surreal. Again, our fans have been unbelievable all year on road games. It's truly remarkable what they've done, and it's loud on third down sometimes for the offense, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's very cool for me being home in front of my family and friends, and having an experience like that is cool.
JMO got to 1,000 scrimmage yards. That means you have 4 players with 1,000 scrimmage yards on the season. Nice. You're the first team to ever do that in NFL history. I'm just, cool. How fun is it to play quarterback when you've got that many guys that can make plays for you? Great example was tonight.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the 4, I'm sure, is Demo, Gibbs, Saint, and JMO, right? And then like Laporta's as good as he gets at tight end, and Tim's done a hell of a job too. And
that's 20 man.
We got a good group and a very unselfish group, which is the best part about it. And those guys just want to see each other succeed. They just want to win. But yeah, to do something like that's very cool, and we're proud of that.
Dan, we asked him about, the whole thing of playing starters, not playing starters. Now you got a short week. You got the Vikings, and he called it fairy tale stuff. He says you guys like it hard. What does a game like this do as far as setting you up for that big showdown against the Vikings?
Game like today?
Yeah.
Yeah, another W. I don't know. I mean, if there is something to be said for keeping like a winning streak going. I think you don't want to lose a game and have to kind of restart that winning streak. So I think there is something to be said for that. And certainly the Vikings are on a winning streak, and so are we now at this point, 2 or 3 games now. But yeah, I think that's what's important about winning this game. And yeah, I don't believe it's hard. I don't know what's hard about the week, but yeah, we're good.
Could it have been harder to restart if you had rested to take basically 2 weeks off and be full force, the rest or whatever?
2 weeks off?
Yeah, to have basically not play for a week.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know if we're able to get the bye week, we'd be pretty happy about that. So I don't know. There's give and take to it. Yeah, but there's some validity to having some time off can be bad for teams. I don't believe it'd be bad for us, but yeah, I don't know. It's pretty, there's pros and cons. The best way to answer it. I'm sorry, I don't have a better answer.
You guys had 11 conversions on 3rd or 4th down.
Nice.
What do you attribute that success to?
Detail and pass protection and our guys getting open and making plays. Yeah, I know we had a couple, 1 or 2 4th down touchdowns in the red zone and failed on one of them, but yeah, we made some plays all night. We guys got open. It was fun.
Thank you, guys.
Cool. Thanks.
All right, there you go. The guys in the chat, the gals in the chat. Oh my God, it's 666 confirmed viewers. With the questions, fantastic questions. Holy God, yeah, quick trademark. We like it hard. Yep. Don't worry, Ross. We need a shirt.
That's a drop.
Oh man, we don't want to hear Brock, right? We're good enough. We got Shanahan's tears. We're good enough. We feel good. We got everything. All right, there we go. Woo! A lot to take apart there. Goff, man, how does he? He was a little bit of piss and vinegar last year when he got the dumb questions, and he would give it back to him. And he's playing a lot nicer with the kids in the media these days. And I have to say it that way because those are some pretty. I mean, you've got all week to think of questions in a couple of different scenarios. They win, they lose. Mm-hmm. You know, what would people really want to know? I'm the voice of the team. I get to ask the questions that the fans and my readers and my listeners that they want to know. I could really get some. How does it feel to win a game like that? What? That's the best you got. That's what 4 years of school and journalism got you.
How do you think Jared feels?
How do you think? Yeah.
What?
Can you provide hearsay testimony on speculation about? Boy. Man, oh man, oh man. All right. Well, whatever. Those guys are great. They did a great job. Answered some silly ones and came back with some meaty stuff. Right. I mean, let's be fair. They did have some good answers there. Campbell. Let's face it. We like it hard. And you know how hard we like it is as hard as you push that like button right now. You push that thing hard, like Dan Campbell wants you to. And also subscribe button, please. We'll ask once a show. We don't beat that up too much, but just hit the like and subscribe. We appreciate it. You're here. Do that thing. Hit it hard. Okay. Ash, let me get a breakdown from you, and then we'll start banging into some calls.
All right. Well, it was a team thing. That's the thing you can kind of take away from this. Like, other than that, Jared Goff absolutely killed it. When you look at the receivers, 4 guys with 4 or more catches if you throw Gibbs in there. You know what I mean? And nobody over 100 yards. 3 different guys got the touchdowns. Like, it's just guys are doing the job that you thought they were going to do when the season began. Like Jamison Williams leads the receivers in average, per reception. Amon-Ra gets the most catches. Sam Laporta is halfway in between those 2 guys. Like, it's just everything is happening the exact way it is supposed to be happening right now. Yeah. And that's basically this offense in a nutshell. Like Jahmyr Gibbs, man. Like, what can you say about how unfreaking believably good this kid is? Like, okay, our bell cow guy goes down, the guy who gets all the hard yards. Okay, cool. Let's throw our fast little dude in there. And the thing is, he's not small.
He's not little. He's not little.
He's not actually a little dude, but he is really fast. So you give him 18 carries, he gets 117 yards and a touchdown. Then he tacks on, those 46 yards receiving. Like, it's what he has become as we're coming up on the end of this season is just insane. Yeah. Like, it is that was a great pick. I'll say it, like that first round that everybody hated, that's 2 of the best players on the field right now. Like, there are not a lot of linebackers doing a better job than Jack Campbell right now.
Yeah.
As far as getting everything set up. You know what I mean? Like, that's where are all those guys everyone said they should have taken instead of him because they ran a 4.340. Sucking. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because linebackers who run that fast aren't good. Just almost always. But yeah, it's like, it just, everything right now is working exactly the way it's supposed to, except for the fact that we have 18 guys on IR.
Can you imagine? I mean, obviously
this team is such a juggernaut, dude.
Obviously, Brad Holmes sucks at getting starters. That's the problem. He can't get starters. Otherwise, we'd have already won the Super Bowl. And it's the backups that carry this team. I think that's really should be the mantra that we get.
They should have been starting in the first place. Then they would have got hurt, and we'd have better players playing right now.
Hey,
that's how that works, right?
What's your name? How you feeling after a big win? by the Detroit Lions.
It's Mo from the creek, baby. Blaze one up.
Mo fired up, my friend. It's West Coast style this time.
Right. Fire up that Honolulu Blue Kush, baby.
We got the Snoop Dogg weed. Oh my God,
yes, sir.
Mo!
Yes, sir.
Tell me everything. Tell me everything. Tell me start to finish what you went through here in this game. How did you smoke in this win?
But man, let me just tell you something. Tonight's game was like hooking up with your side piece on a Tuesday. I'm gonna have some fun, but it don't really mean nothing. You know, I'm still going home with a win.
Mo,
honestly, if I ever drop out of this, you need to get Mo to do these.
I want to so bad.
I'm just saying.
Don't mean nothing.
You gonna get something out of it, but it doesn't mean nothing, sweetheart.
But it's still fun.
Oh man.
You know, the takeaway from tonight, fellas, is the only thing I'm pissed off about is no reporters asked Dan Campbell what the hell Bates was doing on that sideline looking like Ron Jeremy warming up for a scene.
I mean,
man does what he's got to do.
Chatsworth is down by L.A. That's where all that stuff is shot. I don't know if he's got like a short flight south or what was going on. My only thing I could think of is he's showing like the Niners the kind of sweet love that they're going to be making to him any minute because draw me like your French football players because I'm here to fuck you hard. I don't know.
That's what you got out of that? That's all you got out of that?
That's it. That's it. It's just a quick picture in my head. Debo grunting like it was Pulp Fiction.
I just hope he about to get meaned up so bad. So this is a new level of stardom that he's about to encounter.
Yeah, my poor guy too, because he's such a straight dude. He's such a good guy. This is gonna
right.
mess with him a little bit.
Right.
Poor guy. I mean,
poor guy.
Houston. I almost kind of wish I would. If I had the choice, I'd probably go the Houston route rather than the Bates route on this one.
Oh, you rather have a colonoscopy on the field?
Yeah.
Like Ron Jeremy.
I'm talking some shit. What do you want?
Like you get shitty pants or get Ron Jeremy. I'll take the Ron Jeremy.
Allegedly.
500.
You just, if you're gonna do that though, you've got to be busting a hog, right? You can't. You can't. It just no.
And ABC was so wrong for going back to it. They just kept going back to it.
Yeah. That was. I felt so bad for my guy. Oh man, I did. I genuinely felt bad for him when that came up. And then, like you said, they went back to it. I mean, they hung on it, and they lingered just a little too long on Aikman with his. Yeah. That was malicious. That was malicious, man.
And my man is the most nicest Christian dude, and I'm like, would Jesus approve of this? With 18 million people watching.
Oh my God, comatose in the chat. He's talking about Houston and he's talking about Bates. One was selling bricks, the other one.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Mo.
Yeah, it's a couple people in the chat that's been smoking. Yeah, Lion Nation. Throw one in the air, baby.
All right. So Mo, what do you think? We got Minnesota over the horizon here. They got an extra day of rest. We played on the West Coast a day later at night. We gonna be okay?
Oh man, we Gucci, man. We look. It might be ugly when defense getting together. Shout out to my man Aaron Glenn. He getting the defense together the best way he can. But hey, if we got to outscore people and Just go out, guns a blazing. Let's do it, baby. Ain't nobody scared of mother sucking Aaron Darnold. Where the hell he come from?
Aaron Darnold. You were into that, Kush.
We got this. Ain't nobody scared no damn purple people eaters.
Yeah, we'll turn into some purple penis eaters, right? Right, Bates?
Yeah, yeah, Bates. Yeah, eat a dick.
That's the meme. Every win, Bates laying there with a big bubble over his head saying, "Eat a dick."
Oh, that is the Lions t-shirt of the year. Yes, sir.
Run!
And all proceeds go to Detroit Lions podcast.
Mo knows what's up.
Yeah.
Oh my God! All right, so you're feeling good about these Vikings, huh?
Oh man, we good, man. You know how rocking for a field goal. Number one, them tickets probably the same as a Super Bowl price, but it's gonna be rocking. We're gonna show out, and we're gonna take this number one seed, get our boys rested up, and give Aiden a reason to come back.
Yeah, I love it. I heard he's doing a documentary on his comeback, on the injury and the comeback. That's going to be really interesting.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. No, he's he's got cameras with him all the time. So this is I hate to say it. This is kind of built for what he's doing on the outside of football, but what he does on the inside of football is what's going to really make that thing hit. So no, I like it.
And if our team wins everything, I think it'll be a whole Netflix series just on the transformation from Campbell coming to where we at now. I say, hey, if they can shove the Patriots down our throats with 50 million documentaries, the Lions deserve one.
Do your job. The cover of this one's going to be Bates there saying, "Take it like the bitch you are."
I got Netflix. Holla at us, baby. We got the pitch already.
Jake, I'm trying to spin this right for you, bro. I hope it works out, man. Because it didn't look good before we started working here.
Yeah. I call my mother every time after the game every week and after a win. I think because of Bates, in honor of Bates, every time I hang up the phone with my mother, we just gonna yell to each other, "The dick," and then hang up the
phone. Mo, if I didn't respect you so much, I'd ask you to introduce me to that woman. Oh, brother.
That's the new slogan. Hey, man, we can't help it. Detroit Lions, eat a dick. Hey, Bates started it. Boy started it.
We're just taking it to its logical conclusion, right? We're just doing it.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, Mo. You are the guy, man. You kill me, brother.
You guys started it. It's all love, baby. It's all love.
Oh man! All right, hey Mo, I'm gonna let, as much as I love talking to you, brother, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna bring in some of these other callers. Thank you again for calling in, man. Don't ever go too far. All right.
Yes, sir. Love y'all, man. It's always a pleasure calling in, talking to y'all. Much love, Lions Nation.
Love you too. Love you too, Mo.
He says that to them much more nicely than I do.
Hey, caller, what's your name? How you feeling about the Lions win today? There's so many things in my head right now, and none of them's going to come out right.
What up? It's Doc Zay.
Doc!
Drunk off the tears of J-Mo's haters.
Mm-hmm. Woo! Doc, tell me, get me back on track here.
All right, I'll try my best.
Help us out.
I'll try my best.
I was almost going to ask Mo to introduce me to his mom. That's not right. I mean, this is not.
You said if you didn't respect him so much,
This is saint.
you know, things are still still good.
I love him. But when you anyway, say help me out here, bro. Get me out of the mud.
I'll try my best.
Okay.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I remember being pissed when we drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, I was mad. Like, I was staring at the screen. I'm like, we just wasted the 12th pick in the draft. What are we doing? Because obviously I know better than Brad Holmes. And look at this team. Like, the job this dude has done. If we were healthy, there would be no question. Like, I truly believe that. If we were healthy, we would be the unquestioned favorites. It would be a shock for us not to win it all.
100%.
Even with the injuries, I'm still feeling good. This team's incredible. J-Mo breaking 1,000 scrimmage yards today was just so cathartic to watch. That dude just, everyone wants to think he doesn't love football. Watch the dude. Like, he's like a kid in a candy store on the game in the sidelines throwing blocks.
Yeah.
In post-game interviews. Like, he just fucking loves his life. It's incredible.
I saw him up close and just kind of observed him with his girlfriend when we did the Tampa takeover last year. We were on the field and we got to kind of just get up close and see what was going on. And he couldn't play that day. He was out. But you could see that there was there's a lot going on in that guy's brain. You can just see in his eyes how smart he is. You know what I mean? And like, he knew where he was and he knew like how to act. Like, but he a lot of love for his girl, but you could tell he was mad he wasn't playing. He probably felt like he could. You know, I mean, there was a lot going on there, but just watching him, you could see there's a maturity in him that you don't see in guys that age and guys with that kind of pressure coming into the league. You know what I mean? And he's Demo, and I'm not at all trying to take away from what Montgomery does, right? So don't nobody think that at all. But for Gibbs to be able to step up the way he has and kind of put all the fear, I don't want to say he makes you forget about Montgomery, but he kind of makes you forget about Montgomery because he did that job too, and his job, and he did it really well. And it's a confidence that I think most fans and nobody didn't have, and nobody except Ja had in what Ja could do. And that's, I think he's brought everyone to him rather than people, the other way around. And it's just amazing to watch a guy like that with that kind of mindset. It's very Barry-like, just a confidence that I'll just do it. And you guys will come with me. You'll see, right? And then just go do it. Really, really love what he brings and the mindset that he brings to it.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing a Detroit Lions documentary, we gotta get a therapist on there or a psychiatrist just to see how these dudes are wired. Like, their minds are fascinating, and it's something that Brad is looking for when he drafts. I gotta know how he does the process of finding it.
Zay, you and me, we're very much in the same kind of space with that, right? Like, this is
100%.
I mean, this is what you do. This is what I want to do. This is what my boy's gonna do. But this is it. This is that mindset. I think this is a key, not just for football, but for life. Like, what these guys are doing, what we have right here in Detroit. That mix between that team with Brad and Chris Spielman and Agnew and Disner and Campbell and the whole of them, how they work together and interact. I think that's a masterclass in building an executive team, no matter what you're doing, sports, business, it doesn't matter.
100%.
I really, really believe that.
Yeah. I live in Pittsburgh and I work with the psychiatrist for the Steelers. And he let it slip to me that he interviews players at the Senior Bowl or the Combine, whichever one it is. Like he interviewed Lamar before he ended up getting drafted to the Ravens, and so like they involve him in the process. And I imagine the Lions must be doing something similar.
Yeah, yeah. Did it give you any inside anything? I mean, nothing that would hippo get you, but
Nothing valuable. He just said Lamar is a super nice guy, which like makes it worse when you think about all the hate that guy gets.
yeah. It's funny. People see a lot of things that aren't there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's something about the people like J-Mo too. I mean, the number of people who wanted J-Mo to fail from the moment he stepped on the field.
Yeah,
it's mind-boggling.
It is incredible, and like that purport to be fans of the team.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the best thing to come from this run is hopefully we're weeding those people out. You know, for me, I get mad when those people get to just pretend like they've been real Lions fans all along, you know, like the 97.1 crew or the Locked On Lions crew that just gets to turn around and pretend that they've been, I picked them to win all year. Like, okay, you picked them to win after they made it to the NFC Championship last year. Not really a hot take. You weren't really on an island there, buddy. They were literally the favorites for the NFC. Like, you're not breaking any ground here.
I do have to say, I am pretty proud of Goff Island. Because I was there was not a lot of people. It was like 7 castaways, and the minnow was over there in the beach, right? There was not a lot of people on Goff Island early, and I am so glad that it worked out. I just knew he didn't have the people around him. You know what I mean? It was like you knew
Did you know that he was going to be a blend between prime Brady and prime Breeze?
I didn't know this. I didn't know this was who he was. I thought he was going to be a really, really good quarterback, and I thought we'd have to surround him with more talent than we actually have right now. And I'm not dogging on our talent, right? But I just figured Brad can get him what he needs. I mean, look at Brock Purdy. He's not a Jared Goff. Yeah. He's I don't know if he's a Sam Darnold, really. You know what I mean? But I mean, there he is. He's surrounded by killer talent, and I just kind of felt like this is the recipe. This is where we're going. But it was a little bit different. It was different than I thought. And this guy, I mean, we could get another 8-10 years out of him. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about Goff, and I don't want to keep taking everything back to these guys' mentality, but like Goff starts every game good and ends every game fantastic. Like he just heats up as the game goes on, which also lines up with our coordinators. I think do a good job of mid-game adjustments, and those it just pairs beautifully. By the end of the game, Goff is throwing lasers, like putting the ball. That pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown, I was certain it was either out or it was going to be intercepted.
Oh my God, yeah.
But he put it where only Amon-Ra could get it. You see Goff do stuff like that as the game goes on. We're a second half team now. Remember when third quarter was dreaded?
Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah. This is third quarter. This is great. This is so great, dude. It feels good. All right, Doc, we got to let you go, bro. The phones are banging, and it's
always a pleasure. We got a post-game show next week, right?
Yes, sir.
then we're winning the whole damn thing. Let's go.
I mean, we're looking for 5 more super chats to help do the show, or a couple of Slack people or members or whatever. Any of those will work. But we'll do it.
Hell yeah. Come on, people. Do your thing.
All right, Zay. Love you, brother. We'll talk to you.
Be
well. You too.
Go Lions.
All right, there we go. All right, let's just grab another one right here because that's what we do. Right into the calls. Hey, caller, how you doing? How you feel after another Detroit Lions win?
I feel amazing. It's John from Texas.
John, tell me all about your baby mama because she was working tonight.
So work was being put in. I just got back from the bar. I went with my Niners friend. And being in a bar full of Niners, Texans, and Cowboys fans in the Lions gear, you just feel like the fucking king.
I don't know that I've ever heard those words come out of anybody's mouth prior, John. Tell me a little bit more so I can really feel like I'm there with you.
Just the whole game, the Niners fans, they're optimistic. And at the end, they weren't even sad. They were just broken.
Yes.
The Cowboys fans, the Texans fans, they're just glad that somebody has a chance to stop Kansas City, and that everyone's like, who's going to beat the Lions this year? Who's going to beat the Lions?
Nobody.
They think, everybody says that next week, that's slam dunk. No one in that bar gave Minnesota a chance.
Dang. I like that. I like that a lot. Nobody.
And I have something else to say. I spoke with the Minnesota MILF. She said that she will send in a picture before the game next week to show why she's called the Minnesota MILF.
All right. We're down. always up, always down, whatever. Can I tell you, Aaron Pfeiffer came in with a FTV as a super chat.
FTV.
Fuck them Vikings. So the Minnesota MILF.
FTB, FTV, FTP, FTSF.
FTKC, FT anybody but Detroit.
There's one king of shit mountain, and that's us.
Yeah, that's right. It feels like destiny. This year, I don't know. I maybe I'm setting myself up. But it just feels like this team is destined for the greatness. It just feels like we've finally cracked the nut. The dam's finally broke. This team cannot be stopped. All these injuries, there's just nothing out there that can stop this team and what they're able to do. I genuinely believe this is it. This is where we're at. That Houston game, Adam Wigfield in the chat. Yeah. I mean, it's just our destiny. Mike Hodges in the chat says, Chris, do you ever think back to the days when you had to tuck us off the ledge after another Lions loss? This year, you've only covered 14 games and no losses. It's insane. It's insane, man. And this is our 10th year. So it's like, I don't know if there's round numbers or how we're doing it. This is all good stuff.
I've been listening since 2016. I remember I found the podcast because I moved into my first apartment with my baby mama, and I wanted something to listen to while I washed the dishes.
That wasn't your baby mama. Well,
stolen moments.
You know where to get those Minnesota MILF pictures sent, right?
Chris at DetroitLionsPodcast.com.
You got it. And then if we won't publish them if she asks. Like we'll respect all rights. That's what we do. William Kangas, thank you for the super chat. He said he was in a bar in Los Angeles tonight. All Lions everywhere was such a vibe. P.S. Love the Spielman spot on Monday Night Football. He deserves all the flowers. Yeah, man. Spielman, watching him up in the booth. I mean, number one, of course, I was drawn to those massive guns that Holmes suddenly has. Like, I don't know if he's juicing. I don't know what's going on. He's got those big. But then Spielman sitting there. Spielman is an interesting cat, man. He's just sitting there like chomping on peanuts, just like, this is a good game. Like, just so mellow and so chill and enjoying himself. Yep. Same guy at training camp, filling in divots. Yeah, just doing my thing. No big deal, right? Spielman, there's something there, man. Justin Rogers did a frigging great article, and check him out on Substack. It's DetroitFootball.net is where you'll find him. It's fantastic. But he did something when he was still with the the news. He did an interview with Spielman that was fantastic. I would love a follow-up. I would love to have been Rodgers and be able to sit there with him and then spend an hour after with Spielman and just ask questions. He's such an intriguing, interesting, deep character, and he's just different. He's got a different mindset than you can tell. It's just different than anybody out there. I would love to be able to pick at that brain of his and see just kind of how he ticks. It's really, really incredible to watch that guy work. Oh, man. So, William, thank you for the super chat. Kevin, also thank you for the super chat. Taylor Swift, sorry, try the Super Bowl. And John, thank you for the Minnesota MILF and your baby mama, the hard work that they've been doing and putting in.
Hey, I got one last thing to tell. If y'all want to get into the mind of someone who leads the NFL interceptions, Kirby Joseph streams on Twitch. He hasn't done it in a while, but he streamed this week. And somebody asked him, "Are you ready for Monday Night Football?" And he goes, "Oh, shit, we play on Monday night? I didn't even pay attention. I just show up."
Oh, man. I wish my schedule was like that. But I think it's a little bit more than that. Kirby's an interesting cat, too, because he is as loose as they come, talking to people and hanging out. But there was a dead giveaway about how serious he is. There's a couple shots with him on the sideline with Aaron Glenn a couple times getting coached up. And you saw the sudden focus, and it was a whole different side of Curb. It's like, aha. That's the side he doesn't want you to know, but that's the side that makes him a professional, and it's a real thing. So I think it's an interesting, again, you only see bits and pieces of these guys. You don't get to hang with them, but they're all interesting. They're all interesting. All right, man. Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all. Love y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Love you too, John. Be good, bud. All right, there we go.
Peace.
All right, let's grab our next call here. Hey, caller, what's your name and how you feeling about the Detroit Lions victory? And maybe you had a cocktail or two this evening.
Yeah, no, I haven't had a cocktail yet, but because it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon here in Australia, so we're
Okay, all right. There's a word we can't use. You remember that word, right?
Yes, that is true. Yes, I am that guy that said that word. Yes, so I remember that. Yes,
I got radar, brother.
I still love Case every day. He's the man. He's the man.
He is. We're gonna get him on real soon. We will definitely get him back on real soon. I've been chatting with him a little bit. Yeah, no, I'll never forget that. That was so funny. And then, like, in the moment, I watched it pop up and say, "Mwah, mwah, mwah, you're done." I was like, "Oh, that's the word we can't say."
Of all of it, of all the words,
Yeah,
of all the words.
of all the things. So, how you feeling about Jake Bates? Did he warm you up for the day?
He did, yeah. He got right into a spot, didn't he? He was making all sorts of faces. I think
the tongue sticking out really sealed it. Like, my guy's got a movie career ahead of him.
I feel like he found a spot that we may have not been able to find on most women that we've made love to over the years.
Or maybe they haven't found on us.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
He may have made women. He may have made women obsolete. I have to ask him and find out what the hell he was doing.
Whatever button he's pushing, I want to find it so I can use it on my missus.
Oh man! So how are you doing in Aussie land, brother? Like we're gonna go to that place again. I can just sense it. I have to.
Yeah. We're reining it in. Yeah, no, like this team, man, is just unbelievable. Like they are so they are just unbelievable. Like the amount of determination, grit that they use. Like just like even in a meaningless game that doesn't even matter. Like they just find a way to amaze me. Like I've been able to use the lessons that they've been able to teach us this year in my own personal life. Like me and my wife actually went through some, quite disturbing stuff at the start of the year, and to use the mentality of this football team into my own personal life and through my working life and whatever is just unbelievable. Like I can't thank this team enough. Like it's so cool to be able to now watch a winning football team. That is awesome. It
is, and there's an inspirational piece beyond sports. I think you've nailed it. Like I talked about it with Doc earlier. There's a leadership team kind of mentality, but there's like a how to approach life mentality that they have that is really instructive for people. You could learn a lot in how to approach things.
But just even like Dan Campbell, just like the added little details around every little thing they do, not just on the football field. Like the week they gave when we signed Z in to give him the week to go back home and just check on his house and stuff like that. Like you just go, like these guys are just doing it the right way. They just know. They get people, they understand people, and they know how to just flick the switch on someone to get the most out of them. Like, this is just awesome to watch. So
100%.
It's amazing. And like, I want to thank you guys as well, because it's been awesome to listen to you guys every week, get your insights into the team. It's gotten me out of some pretty, like, this team and you guys and everything has got me out of some pretty dark times through my own personal stuff. So I just wanted to ring up and say thank you. So
well, appreciate you, dude. I'll tell you what, I mean, it's not like we're skiing on top of the water all the time either. You know what I mean? And there's a little bit of kind of therapy for us that comes out of doing this show, and you and the folks showing up and joining us is really fantastic. It's been a together journey, and I'm glad we can help folks, but it's, we lean on you guys just as much as you do on us. So it's definitely a team effort.
Absolutely. No, it's awesome, guys. Thank you so much for what you do. So, and hopefully we can just take it to the last level and get that Super Bowl that we all want. So we'll see how we go.
Well, so we got here on Mark says, "Good day, mate." And this guy sounds like he races off-road trucks in the Aussie bush. And then another guy comes in. You mean Utes?
Exactly. Yeah, there's no trucks over here, man.
Dude, if you make your way over to see the Lions, let me know. I would love to get together, buy you a beer.
100%, man. 100%. Yeah, no, I'm trying to get over there. Me and my wife are actually expecting our first child next year, so
good stuff.
I've like already bought him like stuff, so I want to get over there eventually. That's my dream, to get to Ford Field one day. So we'll see how we go.
Congrats to you on the little one. Best of luck with that. And I'll tell you what, if I'm heading over there, I will put out a call on one of the shows, man, and
100%.
and we'll get together. We'll find a way to have a beer together for sure, dude.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, guys. I'll let you go.
All right, brother. We'll see. Can't be demonetized in person, as Comatose said.
You can't. Free reign. Let's go.
All right. We'll see you later, brother. All right.
See ya.
Oh, man. That's great. All right. Oh, God. I didn't even put these things. I think we lost Ash. That's okay. I mean, it's not okay. We miss Ash. We love Ash. Maybe he'll come back. We'll see. Give us a call, 248-782-8384, 248-782-8384. Ash. Ash is having big time problems. Okay. All right, buddy. It's okay. Yep, Ash is gone. He's lost. The whole world closed on him. His router is done. Comcast put Ash to bed tonight. Y'all remember Hard Knocks? The locker room runs this team. Dan dies on the sword when they lose, but he lets the team run practices in order to take ownership of the results in the games. He's a brilliant leader. Peaceful Tim, he is. I have to go back to Tim Stein. He told us, Michelle gave us the hymns players of the game as Kirby and Brian Branch, I believe. Big time players for us today. Pick up another call here. Hey, caller, what's your name and how you feeling about the Lions win today? Tease me, caller. Greg nails it. That's Comcastic. How'd you know who he has? All right, so we'll get through this. We'll do another call or two. Hit us with a call and we'll get you on the show. Let's talk about some of the stats real quick. 475 yards for the Niners and only 439 for the Lions. Passing yards 400. So I saw a lot of the stuff in the chat talking there about how much of a passing team Minnesota is. Here you are with the Niners. They only had 75 rushing yards and 400 yards in the air. With our 287 yards in the air. Pretty interesting how many passing yards they got to still lose the game. This is pretty good. Like I'm like, Ash is still here. He always looks that way. Yards per play, they out yard per played us by 1.5 yards. That was pretty big. But if you look at the player stats, Goff, they said 303 yards. So that's somehow fewer passing yards. I don't know how. 3 touchdowns, 26-34. Gibbs, 117 yards rushing, another 100-yard game. That's 2 in a row, and 30 yards for 31 for Craig Reynolds with a 4.5-yard average. J-Mo, the catch leader again, the receiving leader. He's got himself 78 yards with Laporta being number 2 and St. Brown rolling in at number 3 with 60 yards and 64 for Sam Laporta. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much joy are you feeling at the win of the Detroit Lions today?
Chris, I got a Cowboys fan. I want to hear, back in the day how we used to do. What's your name? How much have you drank today?
Oh yeah. Let's start over. Okay, I can do this. Hey, caller, how you doing? How you feeling? How much you had to drink today? Or something like that. I can't do it.
My name's Garrett.
Garrett, have you been drinking?
12-pack each.
Nice. I started at the beach today with Rum Runners at my favorite beach joint to kind of pregame. Got home, had some cocktails that had Everclear, and then I've been slinging back some beers ever since because it's liquor before beer, and you're in the clear. That's what they say.
Never been sicker, right?
That's right. What do you got for us, brother? What do you got?
14-2 is great, right? So
not as good as 15.
Do you think that Darnold does the pick 6 for number 10 to Kirby Joseph next week?
I will put money on that. I
had a feeling to do that.
I will also put money on Branch getting a pick next week.
So when they went when he drops down to the slot and then he's got a little more freedom and that's where he's a little closer to the line, playing the ball closer. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm. The beauty of Branch is you saw his sack and his ability to cover, and if you don't know which one he's doing, you're already in trouble. And the ability to disguise what he's doing. When he got that sack on Purdy today, Purdy had no idea that was coming, and it was over after that. I mean, he was donezo, right? Not that I appreciate, not that I'm happy someone was injured or anything, but it had a direct effect in the game. And that kind of, if you're Sam Darnold, you see that play, right? You know that's coming. That's just another thing in your mind. And it's a lot like with Brian Branch being, I'll just say multiple like that, even though I kind of hate that phrase. It's a lot like showing all the different trick plays we've shown. Those are all things that every team has to prepare for. Not only just our regular offense, but every single one of those trick plays. Every single one. You just overwhelm them with information, and then you're playing them. So yeah, I like Branch up close. I like him out back. I like him. I like Branch, the fact that he is multiple in the way he is. That's a long answer to that question. Sorry.
No, Chris. So what was it? Darnold's 5 interception game, whichever his goal line thing. I mean, honestly, we're all used to Darnold and ghosts. Do you think there's a chance for that next week with Aaron Glenn mixing it up?
5 picks?
No, not 5 picks, but the way that he something that I think it was the Titans game when he had those multiple interceptions. Do you think, you watch that film and how do you mix up the secondary, the linebackers, moving things around?
Yeah. Well, I like the inverted Tampa 2 that we played today when Kirby got to play. I mean, it was basically 3 deep by the time the play kind of established itself, and Kirby playing center field, because I think Kirby is perfect in that center fielder role. I think he's absolutely fantastic in that space, because he's a free reign ball hawk kind of guy, and when you get guys back to do that, now you can do that when you don't fear the run. And I think that's where the Lions were in this game. There was just no run game for them to have to fear, so they could kind of sit back as the game wore on and just work the pass pros. Vildor being out there is obviously less than ideal. I think we're going to get some guys back. I'm going to have to look at the injury report and see where we are. But if they're a passing team and we don't have to respect the run, that's great. Don't feel like that's where we're going to be. So I'd like to see some of those boys come back on the line. And that, I think if the line can get a little bit more action, just 2 more sacks than we had this week, right? It's a whole different game. And that's just out of the line, right? If we can get that out of the line, it's a whole different game. So anyway, there's a lot to that, right? Every game is a game of push-pull. And you kind of squeeze the balloon and it fills up in a different spot on the other side, and you got to be able to cover that when you squeeze. So we'll see. Did that answer it?
Perfect.
You there? Did I lose you? All right. Thanks, brother. Good to talk to you. Let's see. After the breakdown of the second Kirby interception, I realized that Glenn has really gone out of his way to scheme up this defense. He deserves kudos for keeping our patchwork defense going. Yeah, for sure. Branch is too good to be on the sidelines because of post-snap penalties. Yeah, piece of Tim. I would say the exact same thing as that ball left Purdy's hands and entered Kirby's hands. And I was like, I don't know. There's somebody who knows something more than I do, I guess. So I just accepted it, but I kind of felt the same way. Frosty, I don't know. Let's do DLP episodes for the UFL Panthers game. Appreciate you, brother. That might be fun. We might do maybe a live watch or something, live watch along. Amik had a couple of big plays. Yeah, Amik, he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Amik's really, really done a good job out there, and very quietly done so. And love that. Comatose, this one's for Frosty. Thank you, sir. And Ash is great at the blinking game. We're there. We did it. First pick was a bad throw from Purdy, but the second pick was all Kirby. Just read it all the way and got in front. Yeah. He's a hawk. He's absolutely a hawk. And when he's allowed to kind of run around a little bit free like that, free range, he's deadly. He is absolutely deadly. But when you got to cheat up front and help that line, that kind of takes that away a little bit. When you have a line that can really put that pressure on and keep the quarterback at pace and having to move and having to throw that ball, all of a sudden Kirby, he can do some damage. So that's how the defense is intended to run. And that's what I think they wish they could do, but the defense we have right now is operating okay. And it's an outscore them kind of thing. Now, the one thing we know from last year is this team was built to outscore the other team. And then we shored up the defense this year, and then we got a shitload of injuries. We still have that offense and that ability to outscore. And we just need the defense to crack it a couple of times, and we'll win the game. And I think we have the capability to do that. As teams get better, we'll continue to play that. But the matchups are all different. So we'll see how these things come together. I think that first round bye is the key to the success for the Lions this year. So next week is it's 2 weeks worth of games in 1 week. There you go. Let's see. After all the nice things he said about Detroit, it's wild to see Micah Parsons to Detroit with the best Vegas odds. That is crazy, because I didn't Micah. I was not. I'm going to be hard to forgive. To be honest with you. 40 plus points in 5 games. Greg C comes in. That's an NFL record. Good one. And then let's get one more super. Y'all, Ash will stare at you until that happens. Yeah. The super is 5 or more account. That's what we're looking for. $5 or more. And we'll hit that target. So we're at 9 out of 10, folks. Let's get there. And we'll have that post-game show ensuring another victory with our 100% record this year against Minnesota next week. The toughest one is going to be Senior Bowl week, because we don't know when that's scheduled. We got to get our flights to the Senior Bowl, and we got to go early, like 6:30 a.m. on Monday, because we have a ton of interviews, and these are big interviews. Xavier Leggett, if you don't know, about him eating coon on Thanksgiving, we interviewed him at Senior Bowl. I mean, we've had in Hooker, we've had a lot of great big name folks. Christian McCaffrey's brother Luke, a lot of people we talked to last year at Senior Bowl, the year before, and this year's going to be even bigger. We've got a lot lined up and a lot of coverage for you folks there. So help us do our Senior Bowl coverage like we do, and we get like that. I'd love to add Parsons to the roster. The guy's a dynamic player. Steve-O, I don't disagree. If I could take Parsons, everything about him, other than his personality that rubs me a bit the wrong way, he's got a little bit of a history that seems a little bit different than what the Lions look for. I don't know I'm not, I don't know what all went on there. I haven't investigated it deeply, and I don't know the inside scoop on that, so I don't want to allege or say anything. But it's all questionable for this Detroit Lions team that he would be a guy that they would pick up. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what comes up with that. Jared Goff is to play Ryan Gosling, playing Jared Goff in the Tropic Thunder style documentary of this season. That would be. Frosty, that's something that maybe we could do. Yeah, Adam, I don't see the Lions paying a free agent like that either. Max Crosby is my kind of my go-to point at kind of person for that. And like, hey, if we decide Max Crosby and he got injured, all that money and time and treasure and draft picks would be gone. And now you have a player, you can't do it this year, and you don't have players next year. And all of a sudden you have this big gap in your development pool going forward, and now you've stopped that talent flow that has built this team into what it is in just 3 short years. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you rely on your ability to nail talent like this and create a super juggernaut forever? It's such a risk. It's such a risk to all that, spend all that on a guy like that. So Micah Parsons, I don't know. We'll see. One to piss Riss off again. Always good for that. Sure sounds like Myles Garrett might become more available than we thought. That'd be interesting to see. It would also be interesting to see. There's a lot. Steve-O, thank you. Appreciate the effort you put into covering Senior Bowl week. There we go. All right. Well, with that, I think we're going to call it a show, folks. It's been a lot. Ash is just scaring people away with that stare job he's got going on. I can't do this too much more. I can't beat you up like this. Ash can, obviously, but that's that. Don't forget about us on Patreon, patreon.com/Detroit Lions podcast. $5 a month or more gets you access to the Slack chat, and you can hang out with Ash when his internet works. Riz, me, Bish, Brown, Dr. Liao, we're all there, and a whole slew of fun people. It's a great place to hang out. It's really become a fantastic place with some really, really good people. And you get there, like I said, Detroit Lions, or patreon.com/Detroit Lions podcast, and $5 a month or more will get you there. Also, follow us on Twitter at DET Lions Podcast, DET Lions Podcast, and we go pants free all the time there. You can see us there. We will do a show this week. See you next week. See you, Peaceful Tim. We will do a show this week, Riz and I. So don't worry. This is we're back on track with doing those, and we'll have a lot going on with you guys for you guys in the lead up to this Minnesota game. There will be a post game show next Sunday. I am torturing myself to do that because I have to leave real early on Monday to jump a flight, but I'm doing it and then go to work because I know what it means. And thank you, Comatose. 10 out of 10. You did it. Appreciate you, brother, for the super chats. You guys hit the target. Love you guys. Love you all. We will be there next Sunday. Give us a call via Skype, Detroit Lions Podcast, or call us on the Lions line at 248-782-8384, 248-RUB-U-FUG. And be sure to go to DetroitLionsPodcast.com. Subscribe to the podcast so we can bump it in your ears, just like Jake Bates showed you today. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to see you next time on the Detroit Lions Podcast. Remember, no pants, no toasters, no hot tubs, and no problems, baby, because we're your Detroit Lions and Reddit connection. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subscribes. Love you all. We'll see you soon this week with Riz.